Okay, let's dive into this. We're looking at a really big development for the Cardano blockchain today, a piece of fundamental infrastructure that could seriously unlock a whole new wave of applications.
But let's back up a second and start with a really basic question. You've got a blockchain, right? It's a self-contained digital world. So how does it know the real world up to the second price of, say, Bitcoin or a share of Apple stock? Well, the short answer is it doesn't, not by itself. It's completely cut off from the outside world and needs a bridge to get that information.
And that bridge, that's exactly what we're talking about today. The core organizations behind Cardano have just given the green light to a massive integration, bringing what's called the Pyth Lazer Oracle to the network. This is actually one of the very first major moves to come out of the critical Cardano integrations workstream.
Now, to really get why this is such a huge deal, we first need to pull back the curtain and understand the technology making it all happen. So, what in the world is a price oracle?
The easiest way to think about an oracle is to imagine it as a trusted data messenger. It's a service whose entire job is to go out into the real world, find and verify information, like market prices, and then deliver it onto the blockchain so that smart contracts can actually use it. It is the absolute essential link between the digital world and our physical one.
Okay, so there are a bunch of different oracles out there, but Cardano specifically chose the Pyth network. That begs the question, right? What makes Pyth so special?
Well, the main difference, and it's a big one, really comes down to where they get their data. See, a lot of traditional oracles just scrape data from public websites or generic APIs, which can be slow and sometimes inaccurate. Pyth does it differently. It gets its price information directly from the source. We're talking major exchanges, huge market makers, and financial institutions. This first-party data is just cleaner, faster, and way more reliable.
And the process itself is pretty straightforward. First, the data comes straight from these top-tier financial players. Then, the Pyth network takes all that high-quality data and mashes it together into a single, super robust price point. And finally, it delivers that price onto blockchains like Cardano, ready for any smart contract that needs it. Simple, direct, and really, really powerful.
All right, so we've got the tech down. But why does this matter so much? Well, this isn't just some small technical update. This has the potential to be a complete game changer for Cardano's entire DeFi ecosystem that's decentralized finance.
This quote from the announcement really nails it. The key phrase here is institutional grade. Think about it. For DeFi to grow up and handle serious, real-world money, it needs data that's just as good, just as fast, and just as reliable as what the big players on Wall Street are using. And that's exactly what Pyth brings to the table.
And you know, Cardano isn't just taking a flyer on some new kid on the block here. Pyth is already the trusted data source for over 100 other blockchains. This isn't some experiment, it's a proven, battle-tested network that's already powering hundreds of applications all across the crypto world.
And just look at the sheer scope of what's coming to Cardano. We're not just talking about crypto prices. Pyth delivers thousands of price feeds for everything. We're talking traditional stocks, foreign currencies, commodities like oil and gold, even ETFs. This just blows the doors wide open for developers to build apps that connect to a much, much bigger financial universe.
So, we know the what and the why. Let's get into the who and the when. What does the actual roadmap for getting this thing live look like?
Something that's really important here is that this was a unified decision. The approval came from a steering committee with everybody on it. IOG Group, the Cardano Foundation, Emergo, the Midnight Foundation, with Intersect helping to manage the whole thing. It just shows that all the core players are aligned and pushing in the same direction.
And hey, this isn't just some vague idea for the future. The work to make this happen has already kicked off. The target to have this fully deployed and live on the Cardano network is early 2026.
So let's pull it all together and look ahead. Once Pyth is up and running on Cardano, what does it really unlock? What new things will developers and users actually be able to do?
This kind of high-speed, high-quality data is the fundamental building block for the next wave of DeFi. It allows developers to create much more sophisticated trading apps, build lending and borrowing platforms that are way more secure and reliable, and use advanced risk management tools that just weren't even on the table before.
So the bottom line is this. The Python integration isn't just another cool partnership. It is the laying of a critical foundation. It's like installing the pipes and the wiring before you can build a financial skyscraper. It's getting the Cardano ecosystem ready for more complex, more secure, and more mainstream applications. And that, of course, leaves us with one final, very exciting question. Now that developers on Cardano will have access to the same quality of data that powers global financial markets, what's the next big thing?
What's the next billion-dollar idea that someone, somewhere, is now able to build? I guess we'll have to wait and see.